Game of Thrones is over and now we have a new king. What did you think about the last episode ever of Game of Thrones? I'm gonna tell you what happened and what I thought about all of this. Hey guys, how's it going? Lucas Gilbert here for our last Game of Thrones review. Yes, the TV show is now officially over, season 8 is over, and we had some different endings. We had some surprises during this last season. We also had a lot of disappointments because we had our expectations really high, but we can say that Game of Thrones is one of the best TV series ever made in the history of television, and it was a good ending. I can say that it was a good ending. I didn't like the way it got to the end, but the way the things end, it was pretty good. It was acceptable. The last episode starts with Tyrion walking through King's Landing and just seeing everything burned down, everything destroyed. He sees a lot of dead people, a lot of people who were burned alive. He sees a guy who is completely burned but he's still alive, and it's a really nasty and a little uncomfortable scene actually, and it's really touching. We can see that he's really touched. He is thinking, oh my god, what did my queen just do? And he walks through King's Landing until he gets to the castle. Once he's inside the castle, he starts looking for his sister Cersei and his brother Jaime. He wants to know if they were able to flee, able to escape the city, or if they died in the process. After a few minutes looking, he finds out that they both died, and he starts crying. There we can see that Tyrion is not cold, is not like a genius crime mastermind or something like that. Actually, he has a lot of feelings, and he had feelings mainly for his brother Jaime. So he gets really sad and upset that Daenerys killed both his brother and his sister. Meanwhile, we see the Unsullied just executing all the Lannister army. The Lannisters are war prisoners now, but the Unsullied just don't care. They have straight orders from Daenerys just to kill them all because they are enemy of the queen. Jon sees that and he asks Grey Worm to stop because they're already prisoners. The war is already over. There's no necessity to kill all the Lannisters, but Grey Worm just keeps doing it. He lost a little bit of his mind and of his temper after Missandei died. And that's when we see one of the greatest scenes of all show. That is Daenerys' speech. She speaks in another language and we can see that she's not satisfied. She already has the Iron Throne. She's already Queen of Westeros at that point, but she's not done. She wants to free not only Westeros but the whole world. She wants to break the will for everyone, not just Westeros. So we can see that her plans are not to stop there. She wants more. And in her head, she did a great thing. She freed Westeros from a really bad queen, and she's proud of herself. She's speaking firmly. She knows she's a leader to that people. But some of the people are not satisfied. We can talk about Tyrion to start. He is really angry and sad because his family is dead, because the city is all burned down, because a lot of people died in the process. It was pretty much a slaughter. So he takes off his pin of Hand of the Queen and throws it away, and he's arrested on the spot for treason because in the last episode he set his brother Jaime Lannister free. You can see that Jon is also really uncomfortable with all that situation. He didn't want the city to be burned, but he doesn't want to commit treason. He doesn't want to go against his queen, that is also his lover, so he doesn't say anything. That's when Jon goes visit Tyrion in prison. They start talking and Tyrion said that was not the right thing to do. She couldn't have burnt all the city. That is not a good thing to do. And he remembers us that Daenerys has been ruthless and cruel for like all the past seasons. But Before, she used to kill people we didn't like, so we thought she was a hero. But now, she killed a lot of innocent people, and we can see her true face. She has always been a tyrant. She has always been someone who used to kill her enemies without a proper trial, just because she felt like doing it. And Tyrion asks, Jon, would you have done the same? And Jon says, I don't know, with that really deep voice. I don't know. And Tyrion says, you know that you know. You know the answer, but you don't want to say it out loud because you don't want to commit treason. And that makes Jon think. So he exits the prison, the cell that Tyrion is being held, and he goes to meet Daenerys. We can see that Daenerys is in the throne room. Everything is destroyed, but she can see right there the Iron Throne. And this scene resembles a lot the scene we had on season number 2. There was a vision that Daenerys had about she inside the throne room and it was snowing and she's not really feeling comfortable. All the room is destroyed. And the scene that we see right now is pretty much the same. But we notice that the white powder that's coming down from the sky is not snow. Actually, it is ashes. So they are ashes coming down from all the burning houses and the burning everything, burning people that she did in the last episode. So Jon starts talking to Dany, saying that she shouldn't have done that. It was the wrong thing. She said that it was a necessity, that she had to do that to break the will, and she also wants to do this to all the other places in the world because she thinks she's freeing the people. She wants to free all the people from all the world, and Jon can't stand that. So he pretends that he's going to kiss Dany, and he kills her in the process with a dagger in her stomach. Dany dies and Drogon arrives, but when we all thought that he was going to kill Jon, he turns to the Iron Throne and just melts it with fire. And this scene is really meaningful because it realized that what killed its mother was not Jon, but her hunger for power, her hunger for the Iron Throne. And the Iron Throne is a symbol, so it melts the Iron Throne. And then he just gets Daenerys' body and goes away flying, I don't know where. And that's when you have a flash forward in the episode and we see that Tyrion has been held captive for a few weeks, maybe a few months, and he seems really tired. He is a prisoner of the Unsullied because the Unsullied took the city. Daenerys is dead, but the Unsullied are kind of ruling King's Landing right now. And we also see that the biggest houses of Westeros are reunited. They are sitting together in a meeting in King's Landing, and they bring Tyrion to talk to them. The first thing we hear is that Jon is also in prison. He was also arrested for not only treason, but also murder of the Queen. Actually, we can say that Jon is now a Queen Slayer. The leaders of Westeros are there, reunited to talk about the future of Westeros. Who is going to be the new king or queen? And Tyrion suggests, come on guys, you're the biggest and the most important houses in the whole 7 kingdoms. You can choose a new king. Come on, just choose someone. Choose someone who is going to be a good king for everyone. And Sam suggests that they all vote, not only the big houses, but also the whole population. So kind of Sam just invented democracy in the series. And what happens? Everybody laughs at him. They're like, haha, okay, my horse is going to vote as well. Democracy, it doesn't work. And that's when Tyrion starts talking, and he says that he had a lot of time to think because that's everything that he could do while in prison. And he thought that the most important thing that they have is history. Actually, the most important things are stories. And who has the nicest story in the whole episode? Who knew all the stories from the past? Who knew all the past of Westeros? Who knows all the present? And who probably can make up for the mistakes in the past and guide the whole 7 kingdoms to a brighter future is Bran. He was a little boy who survived a really big fall from a tower. He lost the movements of his legs. He didn't give up living. He goes north of the wall. He becomes the three-eyed raven. He helps to defeat the Night King, and he's there. So he suggests that Bran should be the new king. And it's really interesting because he says, Bran, I know that you don't want to be king, but it was going to be the best thing for Westeros. And Bran answers, why do you think I came all this way? That means Bran already knew he was going to be named king. Think about this. What if Bran knew that Daenerys was going to burn everything and he didn't say anything because he wanted to be king? Is Bran the real villain of the whole TV show? So the Lords of Westeros vote aye, which means yes, I agree that Bran should be the new king. King Bran the Broken. And I told you that was going to happen in the last episode of this review. So you can click up here and see the review for episode number 5 that I finished the video saying that Bran was going to be the new king. I told you so. And all the lords and ladies accept that Bran is going to be the new king except for Sansa, Bran's sister, because she said that the North will never bend the knee again. So Bran agrees. He's now not the king of the 7 kingdoms, but the king of the 6 kingdoms, because Sansa is now queen in the North. Jon is not sentenced to die. He is sentenced to come back to the Wall and to become a member of the Night's Watch again. And it doesn't really make sense to have a Night's Watch again because all the White Walkers are dead and the wildlings are now friends. So Jon kind of goes to the north again, meets with the wildlings, and probably will become the king of the free folk or stuff like that. Bran is now king. He asks Tyrion to be his hand, and Tyrion, in the beginning, he doesn't want to be hand, and Bran says, this is your punishment. You need to make up for all your mistakes. So Tyrion becomes hand. We have some of the main characters becoming a really important part of Bran's team. And also Brienne, who's now a Sir, she's a knight. She becomes the commander of all Bran's army. So this is pretty cool. And last but not least, we see Grey Worm and the rest of the Living Unsullied sailing away. They are heading to Nath, where Missandei wanted to go when everything was over. Now Grey Worm is going there, but without Missandei, who is dead. And we see Arya having a really different ending that we all thought. Arya wanted, as she said on season number 5, she wanted to explore what is west of Westeros, because the maps stop in Westeros. So she wants to find out what is west of Westeros. So she becomes a new kind of, I don't know, Jack Sparrow or something like this. So she just gets a ship and finds a crew and goes to explore what is west of Westeros. That's how everything ended, and I think that the way it ended, it was a really nice way. I think Sansa as Queen of the North makes a lot of sense. Bran as king was not a horrible thing. It was unexpected, just like the way we like Game of Thrones, because it's a really unexpected TV show, and I think it was a really cool ending. Jon in the North was pretty cool as well, because he would never be king, following the way the Game of Thrones producers think, because it would be too obvious for Jon to be the king. So I think he being the king of the free folk makes sense as well. Arya sailing, it's okay as well, because she said already that she wanted to explore, she wanted to know what was west of Westeros, so it was pretty cool too. The only problem with the 8th season of Game of Thrones was because it was too short. Everything happened really fast. There were a lot of things to be solved and a lot of wars to be fought, and we only had 6 episodes, so the producers had to, I don't know, rush a lot. Everything was not explained the way it had to be. But we can't say that it was a bad TV show and that we didn't like the whole picture. So it was good. It was good to watch this TV show. This thing will, I don't know, I'll remember Game of Thrones for the rest of my life, and I'm really now excited for the spin-offs, that are coming. So I really hope you like this whole series of reviews 100% in English so you could practice your listening. If you want to practice your listening even more, I suggest that you watch all these 6 videos again in a row so you can just, I don't know, follow the thoughts that I had through the weeks that Game of Thrones was on. And if you like this video, I will ask you gently to give us a thumbs up. I'm really happy if you give us a thumbs up, because in this way I'll know that you like the video, that you could learn from the video. So please give us a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber yet, please click down below on subscribe and also hit the bell button so you can get all the notifications from the channel. So that's it. This is the end of our Game of Thrones review. So I see you later.